Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video of another F1 2021 game experiment, because today we're going to see what happens when we give Haas the performance of an F2 car. I mean, to be fair, they were that slow in 2021, they might as well have been driving a Formula 2 car round at the back as well. So yes, we're gonna do some practice at Imola to see how the car handles, what performance can do, and then we'll have a 25% race around Monza. Excuse me, not Imola. Just to show my fastest lap. This is not my fastest lap. 206 mile an hour in a straight line. The Haas can do with normal performance here as well. So again, compare that to that. Compare that to other F1 cars that are considerably faster in a straight line. And my fastest lap, I did quite a few laps on the default, not with the default set, with a custom setup around Monza. Managed a 22.782. And now we switch it up to the F2 performance car, and yeah, there's so much understeer. I don't know what it is with this car, but this is how the Haas did feel in F1 2020 in real life. In the game, they made it a lot more easier to drive. Trying to break down into turn 1, missing the apex completely, and in the end trolling around at 25 mile an hour as well. And then through to Lesbos corner, I just kept losing it. The rear end just kept giving me a spinala every single time, and then we had tried to be aggressive for a Ascari to make up time, and that hell ended terrifically. I did manage to set a lap time of 1:32.7, which is not actually accurate to the performance of an F2 car as well. I even fiddled back with the setup, and then at this point I was like, okay, so how should an F2 car behave? And I went and did some laps on an Formula 2 car with the same setup and see if it's just the mod. And the Formula 2 car on one lap managed a 28.9. So eventually, I think we've come to a second bit of performance. This is the Haas performance file, but I've given it's got the Haas F2, the Haas tyres and the Haas brakes, but pretty much the performance, like the aero, the chassis, the engine, that is all F2. Means that obviously we can only do 191 mile an hour in a straight line as opposed to 205 mile an hour, but it's a lot more stable through the corners as well. It's a lot more drivable through the corners. So, you know, we're still slow. It's still an F2 car. It's just that obviously we're driving an F2 car with an F1 chassis on. So the performance we should be there or thereabouts with the performance of an F2 car, with braking of an F1 car and also F1 tyre performance as well. Yes, seems to be limited to 191 mile an hour. I did try and change the gearbox and add another gear, but that took mile an hours away for that. So we seem to only have 6 gears as well, which is not great, but we'll just have to get on with it. Coming through Parabolica then for the final corner of this fly lap, and the fastest of the F2 range, and it's a 1:26.1, which I probably would have been able to do similar sort of time in the F2 car had I done a bit more practice, etc, etc. So yes, apologies that, you know, I mean, the F2 performance, something in the F2 performance car was clearly causing this car, the Haas, just to be so unstable and causing all those spinalas. So we're going to race with our F2 modded Haas performance file, have a 25% race around Monza, see how we can compare against the AI I expect we are going to be absolutely mullered in a straight line and pretty much through every corner as well. The game has put us up in 15th place. I haven't qualified that. I'm going to start on the mediums, finish on the soft classic. 25% strategy for me. Fuel licks is fixed for F2 cars, so that's just absolutely fantastic. Can't change that. So there, favourite lights, the Italian Grand Prix. As Mick Schumacher, lights are out and away we go, and it's a good start, better than Russell there. Then of course they just, well, you see what's happened. They just whizzed by. Later on, re-dived on about 4 or 5 cars down into turn 1, but they're going to sweep across, and they're probably going to, virtual safety car, excuse me, is being deployed as well, and Russell is ahead, so we've got to let him go. So that's annoying as well. And then on the virtual safety car restart, absolutely everybody goes past. It's like driving as James May. Now, if you want to know what driving as James May is like, then let me know. So someone's going slowly. Is it McLaren? I think it is. Is having an issue there, but they've all escaped as well as Mazitwat. No, you're not supposed to be in this race. Well, I mean, just try to go around the outside of all of them. We get an illegal overtake, but I mean, it doesn't matter anyway, because they're just going to go straight back past us. In actual fact, it's going to be 3 wide between the 2 Williams and Giovinazzi there, and they're going to just run away. Unfortunately, Mazitwat just kept being annoying. You know, he kept getting DRS. To be honest, it's irrelevant what he does anyway. As well, so in the end I just decided to punt him in the rear and get him out of the way. I'm sure Gunther Steiner will be swearing to hell and back, but I don't really care. Mazitwat was getting in the way, and we just decided to get rid of him. And we need to make a pit stop anyway. Let's get off these medium tyres, as Mazitwat's out now, so I mean that's got rid of him, and that's brought out the safety car as well. So can we now catch? The question will be now, under the safety car, can we catch up as we've gone into the gravel, because we've got no front wing. We are coming into the pits, but unfortunately fuel's becoming a bit of an issue as well, with negative fuel. We don't have lean mix available. So the Haas pit crew will go to the get to work on the front wing. 8.9 seconds stop. That's not too bad with a front wing change. And we're going to come out on a set of soft tyres and see now, can we actually catch up? What sort of lap times can we set? Our best lap time so far is a 28.9. Now, while all of that was happening, Sergio Perez is decided to rear-end a retiring Valtteri Bottas. So Bottas and Perez are now both out of the Grand Prix as we get underway on lap number 7. Yeah, we haven't caught the safety car queue up. 12 seconds they are. Actually 11.5 seconds ahead in front of us, and now they're just going to extend that. So unfortunate there. Soft tyres not doing their job. We're literally leaking fuel all over the place, and when we actually make it further than I thought we did to lap 11. Russell's come into the pits for a second stop, but now we're trundling around at 60 mile an hour around Monza when they're doing 200 mile an hour down the straight. So we are pretty much just sitting dark as Russell decides to rear end us in the Williams. So that's another front wing change for the British driver in the Williams car there. And at this point we're just being a nuisance to everyone, because we're just trying to drive around, have a nice Sunday drive here. 70 mile an hour legal speed limit in the UK as well. And then now we're being lapped as well. We're just going to stand here on the racing line just to be annoying. And then Lando Norris, I don't know if he went on Daniel Ricciardo's, Kevin Magnussen's party at that point, because he slammed into the back of us as well. So we're crawling around at 75 mile an hour now. Oh no, it's dropping. It's dropping.
The gap to the car ahead is 45.8 seconds.
So yeah, we got pretty much basically the moral of this race is that you don't have enough fuel, and to be able to there is Hamilton on his parade lap crashes into the back of us as well. I'm not changing my line, and then Verstappen does the same thing.
Push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
Yeah, you can't have a safety car because the race is finished. We let Verstappen go, but you know, we're now pulling alongside, and there's yellow flags, and something's going. And this is where that glitch happens, where the AI don't pass you with yellow flags. It usually happens in qualifying. And their Gasly goes past. But now, of course, we're just having a little trolley train of ourselves, crawling around at 70 mile an hour. They've all come out here to see the F2 Performance Haas car, to see how horrendous it is in real life. As the Ferrari does actually go through in the end, Leclerc, and we're just crawling to the line to round off this video. That's what happens what would happen if Haas got F2 Performance. One lap, would be lapped basically. Yeah, if you want to try this for yourself, this challenge for yourself, and see if you can do better than what I have, then I might put this on Race Department, but it probably won't be uploaded until next week. If and when I do, then I'll update the description with the link as well. So yes, I hope you have enjoyed this little game experiment. If you have, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more F1 2021 game experiments. Until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.